Hi everyone, if you can see me, just say a quick hi and welcome to another live session today. As I promised, we'll be doing live sessions every Friday, so here I am. And the live session was chosen by you guys today. You wanted to do something in creative writing, so we are doing that. Hi Josh, I'm fine, thank you. So we will be doing creative writing today and I'll be explaining you how to do it. And we have a really interesting topic today about creative writing, what we'll be doing with you guys. So don't worry about that, and we'll be just wait for some of your friends to come in and join us. And I hope all of you love creative writing. If you like creative writing, don't forget to like this video here because these live sessions can only be done if we get more likes and more of you subscribe to our channel. It gives me encouragement that you guys are looking at us at our channel. If you don't do it, it'll be like, oh my god, I'm just wasting my time. Why I'm here? You guys don't even like my videos. You don't even watch me. No? So today we'll be doing creative writing and I'll be telling you about some of the scary stories if you guys love scary stories. If you don't love scary stories, I hope after this live session, all of you will start liking scary stories. I'm scared. I really get scared in the dark. How many of you get scared in the dark? You feel like, oh my god, it's dark. I'm scared. I'm just looking at your replies. How many of you love sleeping in the dark and you are not scared of the dark? Are you guys scared of the dark? Or you love the darkness? You like, oh, it's so lovely. I love the darkness. I do. So you like darkness? I don't. I'm fine in the night, but when the light goes, like I don't know about here, but in India, when we I used to stay back in India, we used to have always light used to go, and then we used to be like, oh my god, light is gone. We were so scared. Yeah, I love sleeping in the dark, but I'm also scared. Scared when a scary a ghost. How many of you are scared about ghost? Do you think ghosts ever exist? Or you think that this is some of the things made up by your parents to scare you guys so you go back to sleep? Are you guys scared of ghost? You are. That's good. Okay, let's start sharing the screen now. If you guys have recently joined in, you don't know who I am. You guys know who I am. I'm scared of kidnapping, not ghost. Oh my god. That's something everybody's scared of. So if you don't know who I am, do you know who I am? Just asking you guys. I think there will be a silly question I'm asking you guys. I'm Ashima from ALT, Ambitious Learning Tuition. We have started these live sessions from last year. I know some of you, like Josh, is one of our really, really old children who attend our lessons every time. And it's nice that others have also joined in. So we started doing these live sessions from last year during lockdown, and we are still doing it, and we will keep on doing it. It's good to help. It's good that all of you get so much help, and I get so many positive reviews from you guys. Keep telling your family and friends about these live sessions. So let's not waste our time now, and let's start sharing the screen with you guys. Let me know when the screen is shared. Here you go. If you want me, I can be on the side of the screen. So if you know that we will be talking about the some of the really good things about spooky stories. They are like scary stories. If you guys want to say is shared, yeah. Can you see it? So basically, I'm going to talk about is the I think so. This one is better or the one what I did previously with you guys. Half and half. I don't like this one. Let me just see which one is better for you guys. Screen is shared. Yes, it's been shared. So let's start doing that now. So basically, we are going to, if you can see the screen, we are going to talk about the spooky stories. They're like scary stories, basically. It'll tell you about all the scary stuff about these stories have, and they are really, really good stories. So we'll be just doing something for you guys. We're going to do something. Let's see what the screen has for you guys. So looking at this scene, are you guys scared? If you want, I can zoom in this one. Let me zoom in so you can see it properly. So you all can see it properly now. So basically about this one here, the spooky stories, what do you can see us. I have screen is shared. Yeah, it is. I can see that now. So basically, if you look at this one, you can see there is like it's really dark. Yeah, you feel like it's really really dark, and you feel like what else can you feel looking at this screen? If you look at the picture here, what I have shared with you guys, how would you describe this picture? Scary, or it's something you guys are comfortable in? I'm just looking at some of your what you guys have written. So basically, if you look at this scene, if you look at this, I feel, oh, that's good. You feel that. Imagine if you guys were supposed to go on a holiday and you see a, it's really dark where you've gone for a holiday. Spooky. Yeah, it does. It's really scary. It feels like why I'm here. It feels like you guys are really scared to look at the scene here. You feel like what's happening and why I'm here. So basically, if in creative writing you will have lots of topics, the house took tall as it touched the green, and I really like this one, Josh. I'll just put that for you all to have a look what Josh has put for you guys. So this is what George feels looking at this one. He feels like the house stood tall as it touched the green and black sky. So if you look at this one, he has really described the picture really well. The scene. I won't call it a picture, I'll call it a scene. He has really described this scene really in a proper way. And the way he has described, he had described the sky and everything else. I keep saying every time when you guys have something in creative writing, you see, when you have to describe something in your creative writing, descriptive writing means you have to think about the five senses. You have to think about how would you express yourself. Like, I just want to hide myself. Yeah. It's basically when you have something like this in creative writing, I would say that you have to think about your five senses. So you have to include your five senses in all the creative writing what you guys write. So it's not like just I have seen that when I tell you guys, let's have a competition about creative writing, and I want you guys to describe the scene. What I have that mainly what you guys do, you just describe in five sentences and you just leave it. It's not like that. If you look at this, if you look at this scene here, I would say I want you guys to describe the sky. I'll use, so you have to describe this. I'm just removing myself first. I'm removing that one, and I'll so the things in this creative writing, what you guys can describe is you could describe the, so sky is something you all can describe. What else can I describe in this picture? I'm just going to label all the things. So sky. What else do you think I can describe? The house stood tall. That's nice. What else can I describe? One is the sky, or I could describe the tree also. I'm just labeling. I'm just going to label everything what you guys say. So I can describe the trees. So you can describe how the trees are tall trees. So you can describe the trees here. What else can you describe? Sky, trees. What else in this picture you all can describe? The house, okay? That's good. Let's label the house for you guys. So another thing what you can describe is the house. What else? So do you guys think these are the three things you can describe? There are other things also. You have to think in this picture what you can describe. So you have told me about the sky, the trees, the house. What else? The mist. Yeah, you can. But or you could describe the clouds, the windows. Yeah. Okay, let's do the windows. Let me write down as much as you guys can tell me. I'm just doing that ones, the ones you all are telling me. So I can describe the windows here. So here you go, windows. What else? We have done the windows. You can describe the sky. You can describe the trees. You can describe the house. You can describe what else? I'm just going to label everything what you guys are telling me. Think about other things also. Remember what I keep telling you guys. You have to think about the five senses. So just have a look and see have you included all the five senses or you haven't. The stairs, okay. Color of the sky, okay, let's do that. Color of the sky and stairs. There are two things you guys have told me, so I'm going to label that. So here comes your stairs. And the color of the sky. So let's do the color of the sky. So here comes your color of the sky. Oh, sorry, your color of your sky is gone. Morning, which ghost made. Color of the sky. I'll just put that somewhere else so you all can have a look at that. It's now it's visible, right? It needs to be little more here. That's color of your skies. So these are the main things what you all can describe in this picture. And remember that another thing you guys didn't tell me that these are the things you can describe in this picture. And another things you could do is you could also remember to use your adjectives. Adjectives is something you have to include. These are the points to remember. So your points to remember in this picture would be using adjectives. What's happening to this? Similes. Your five senses. What else can we include here? So you have to use your adjectives and the characters. Always remember to make some characters in the story and metaphors is something you all have to use. So remember, you have to use all these things. Yes, that's right. So on the next page, I'll be doing another page now. In the another page, we will be discussing about what can you include in a smoky story. So this is about this picture. Another page will tell you about what you can include in the picture what we just shared. You can also include about the smoky stories have a rich describing words to build up atmosphere. So the one who's told about the atmosphere, you are absolutely right. You have to have something in the story was about the atmosphere. So atmosphere is something which is very important in these stories. So you have to think about the atmosphere. So how would you describe the atmosphere? These are some of the examples how the writer has described the atmosphere. If you look at the picture before, if I look at the screen before, look at this. If you look at the atmosphere, how would you think he would describe the atmosphere? The way of describing the atmosphere is in a way that the person who is looking at your descriptive writing would really love it. The examiner would say, "Oh wow, look at this child. The way the child has described the atmosphere is really good." So these are some of the examples. All of you could describe the atmosphere. You could describe the atmosphere like with the wind, that the wind was swirling and screeching and the rain trickled down the windows. So in this, we are talking about the atmosphere and we are telling you about the things the author could do. And they look at this one is so good. The fog sat thick and heavy around them. So they also told about the frog, the way he was sitting. The dark black clouds loomed over them. So these are some of the examples they have used. Now I'll go back to the scene and I want you guys to tell me how would you guys describe the atmosphere. So you have to describe the atmosphere. These are some of the examples the author has used. The person who has written this descriptive writing has used. So I want you guys to try using your own imagination, because remember that descriptive writing is about your imagination. You have to be descriptive. You have to be creative basically. As creative you are, and as much information you give to the examiner to read, you will get more marks. They normally give you marks if you have a creative writing like this. They tell you about describe the scene or something. They are hoping you to do at least 3 paragraphs. And in that, the first paragraph is mainly about what the scene tells you. The second paragraph is mainly about the character, what you guys have created. And the third one is the second is about the character and the sequence, what you think the story is. First or second, I'm just going back to that. Don't worry about that. We are going back to this. You have to describe the clouds. You have to think, because what are we doing? We are going to take each steps turn by turn. First, we guys are going to describe words to build up atmosphere. So atmosphere, we need to build up atmosphere means you can describe the atmosphere, or you could describe how to start your story. Build up atmosphere basically means that how would you start your story, what how creative you can be. So this is the way how they have started the story. So I want you guys to start writing how would you describe the story. And then we'll be using the 5 senses. So we'll be doing each part. So the first part is how would you start to build up your, and I would be writing your whatever you guys are writing would come on the screen now. So start writing now. All your messages would be done now. I like this one. So basically, he said that lightning tore through the sky. Lightning tore through the sky as quickly as a cheetah. So this is the way. How would you describe the story? How would you start your story? So remember, when you're starting a story, you could describe the atmosphere or you could describe the scene. You could describe that you went to a holiday and you saw a haunted house. Which place? I don't know where this place is. It might be in a haunted house somewhere, or you went, the house was as big as a church. Remember, you are describing this in the end. Remember, as usual, if you guys are new in our creative writing class, you don't know that. In the end, you all have to build up your story and you have to write a good descriptive writing and email us your writing, and you'll be getting prizes for the one who give us the best writing, and you'll be getting a feedback. So remember that whatever you are writing right now, you have to include in your creative writing and build up your writing, and just try using a lot of words in that. So in this one, you could start that you gone on a holiday and you saw a haunted house. And if I zoom in little bit, if I'm allowed to do that, let me just see if I can zoom in for you guys a little bit. Yes, I can. I have zoomed in little bit so you can see your screen in your screens. You can see the house properly now. And if you want me to zoom in a little more, just let me know that. Here you go. I have zoomed it a little more for you guys. So you can have a look at the house now. And then you can start building up your story. The house stood in the middle of the destroyed forest with very few trees. That's a good one. I'll be just putting some of your ideas on the screen that others who don't have any ideas can have a look at these wonderful ideas, what these kids are doing, so you can make up your own ideas. Another idea for you guys is here. The thunder cackled like a mented witch as the haunted and blood curdling house stood over me. So that's a good one. You have used good adjectives. You have described the house in a really nice way. And if I look at your story, I would be like, wow, because the house is haunted. So you know that it's somewhere, or this house could be in your dreams. You could also describe that. Or I still remember one dream what I had. It was about the haunted house. So there are different ways how you all can start describing this house. There are different ways of describing the house. Like in the examples what I showed you guys, they had described the house in a way like the wind was scratching towards the house, mean it was just going towards the house, and the dark black clouds roamed over me. So there are different ways you could describe the house. You could describe the house like, I still remember the haunted house what I saw. Or you could describe in different ways. What are the ways you could describe the house like? Or you could start your story like. Or if you're dreaming about this, you could say that a scene from a nightmare comes true the next day. So the scene from a nightmare, you're having a scene in the night, you're thinking about the night, like you're dreaming. And you could write another thing like, my friends start to disappear and no one else notice. So there are different things you could describe here and have. I'm just putting some of your ideas of some of the kids writing down. The thunderous wind caught my coat and held it between its always sharp pointed teeth. That's a good one. I'll just put another one now. The air light was measuring its grades upon the nightmare mission. So basically, you're thinking about something in the night and something just happened. You're like, oh my god, how am I here? And remember that when you're writing a story, a scary story or something like that, you always need to try always starting with the dialogue and use your memories. Like if you're writing about, you can also use some of your memories in that. Here you go. It's another one now. It's like shivering from the pacing cold in the bones, in their bones, and with their teeth chattering lightning tore through the sky. So this is. Can you all write a dialogue? Because basically, when you have a story like this, you always start writing it. You start with the dialogue. A dialogue in the scary story would be like you're thinking about something. You're just dreaming about something. Imagine you're dreaming about something and you went on a vacation and you saw that thing there. You're dreaming about the haunted house, and when you wake up in the other day, you see that the house did exist. It's a haunted house is there. So you're looking at the haunted house like something which is always there. So remember using your dialogues when you're describing it. And these are some of the examples. The next thing what I want you guys to do now is rich describing words related to the five senses. So you have to think about rich describing words means you have to remember what you guys told me. You can describe the trees, you can describe about the all things about the sky, but always remember using your five senses when you're describing something in the story. The five senses are something which are very, very, very important in your descriptive writing. In your creative writing, you have to use your five senses. And when you guys use your five senses, you have to think about the ones you have used. Like, look at it in this one. And the best sense what all of you could use is about the smell, because you are going in a haunted, if you see a haunted house or something and you get really scared, because when I see a haunted house, the first feeling what comes to me is scared. And how would you describe your fear? So your when you're scared, how would you describe something when you're scared? So in this one, they have said that the trees groaned in the storm. So they are telling about the trees. There was a strange smell. It was like a burnt dinner and the rotten eggs mixed together. So these are some of the feelings what the writer would have had who was writing the story. They might think about when they saw the haunted house. It tasted like sour lemons. He could see a dark red footprint on the floor. So this is something you are saying. The animals felt thick and hairy. So I'll go back to the scene now, and I want you guys to use your five senses to describe it. Try using your five senses now. Remember, I'm going to put your what you guys are saying. I'm going to put it for you guys to have a look and see some of the ideas. Worst vacation ever. I could have an. That's really good. So basically Josh is thinking about he could have gone somewhere else, and this is the worst sorry, it's the worst vacation he had because he saw a haunted house. Or you went to a museum. You could also describe that you went to a museum, and in the museum you saw that there was a haunted house. They're showing you inside the haunted house. How would you feel going inside this house? What are your feelings? If you see a haunted house and you feel like you want to go inside, and when you're planning to go in, you see that there's somebody already in there, how would you feel? Obviously, all of you will feel a little scared. So you can also describe your feelings going inside a haunted house. Imagine you're playing with your friends and your friend has thrown the ball and the ball has gone inside this haunted house. You have to go inside and you have to go and get the ball. What would be your first feeling when you think about yourself going here? You would be really scared, and you would also uh, see the footprints of someone else there, red footprints. What I just showed you, the example they have given you, you could have seen that footprints. I would feel terrified and I might faint. So that's some of the, this is one of your feelings. So if you're getting fainted, if you're faint, if you get faint, sorry, this is one of your feelings you are telling me about. So this is what you could write in your writing. And another one here is this was the worst holiday ever. I was totally terrified as I entered the haunted, creepy house. So you are describing the house like creepy. And I have a really big one here. That's good. Has the wind whistled and the ascent aroma of a fire? Oh, that's a good one. This is the worst. Well, the worst is yet to come. Mom explained, joking. The crickle door cracked. So it's basically that's not the end. It's just the starting for you. So there are lots of things you can describe in this. So let's see. You have to use your senses. The first one is you have to start your story with, try always starting your story with a dialogue. It's not written here, but I'm telling you. And then start uh, making the atmosphere. Making the atmosphere mean that I feel like to read your story again and again. And then you are describing your five senses. Now you have to create tension. The next part of your story is you have used the dialogue in the first one. The second one is you have you have built up the atmosphere, and the third thing is you guys have to build up tension. You have to think about the tension, and there's some tension. There's somebody you have to create tension in that. So what would be the tension you guys could create in that? The one what they have created here, there's some of the examples I would read to you guys. The man was right behind him. The ghost was gone. The room was empty. It was quite deadly quiet. She felt a jet of cold air on her neck. So you are creating tension now. And how would you create tension in a scary story? You have to create a tension in that. So I'll give you the story. I'll show you the scene back, and I will zoom little bit less for you guys so you can. So what are the things we have included? I'll just rub what we started. So I'll tell you what are the things you guys have included. The first thing is starting the story. Starting the story. First, you have to think how would you start the story? Try using as many dialogues or things you guys want. And second is building up atmosphere. Building up atmosphere means you have to think about the things you're including in the story. The third one is your five senses. So you have to build up the atmosphere. They're saying I've missed out the your five senses. The fourth thing what you're creating is the tension in the story. So these are the things we have included till now, and you all are helping me with it. So we are on the fourth one now. You are creating tension in this one. So you starting the story. You are starting the story with a dialogue or things like that. Second is you're building up the atmosphere that as a examiner, I love reading your story and I'm like, wow, your story is wonderful. The third thing is you're using your five senses in the story. The fourth thing, what do you remember, is using tension. You have to create tension in your story. How would you guys do that? Let me see the tensions. What you guys are. I'll just click some of your topics. I'll just put them on. He scrammed the door as hard as he could, Annan. Unfrustrated man opened the door. It was. And remember, there's one thing, all of you are writing about a man, but none of you have described the man yet. Remember to describe each and everything what you write in a descriptive writing or in your creative writing. Try you writing for each and everything what you include. Like in this one, you guys are saying about a man open the door and things like that. How was the man? Was the man tall? Was the man short? Was the man scary? Josh, try describing the man a little bit more. Suddenly he heard a blood curdling noise on the creaky doorstep behind him. It was terrifying. That's good. Remember what you guys are using, whatever you guys are using in your writing, creative writing, you have to describe that person a little more. I have another one now. It's a big one. I want you guys to read it. That's good. I really like the adjectives and the how have you described it. It's really good the way you have described my father. So if you could describe your father, my father, who was in his blah blah blah, in his 30s, in his 40s, with her brown jacket, wearing a brown jacket. Or I would say, this- how would you describe your dad? What are the things you would use to describe your dad? Would be really great. You could describe your dad, and the ghost was gone. In this, they're saying the ghost was gone. So I will show you the next one, what they are saying. You are creating tension. The next one, what they are saying, we have used this one. You're building up atmosphere. You use your five senses. Then they are saying you have to create tension. And in this one, this is really important. You have to create a character in your creative writing. So, creating a character is very important. Characters rated with worry and fears. So, you could also create your character, or you could think about the worry and fear. Why are you scared? What are the worries you have? Characters reacting with worry and fear. So this is the next thing you could discuss in that points. Let's add this point there. So you have to create tension and fear in your character. So whatever character you guys have created, you have to create tension in that character. So the fifth point you could write is, so you're creating tension in your story. So these are the things we are using. We have started. Remember, when you guys put this creative writing, this descriptive writing, and you email me, you have to include all these topics while describing this scene. So the topics what you guys need to include in your writing is, when you're starting the story, you need to have a dialogue in that. The second thing is you need to build up the atmosphere. Building up the atmosphere doesn't mean that describing the atmosphere. Yeah, building up atmosphere means I should be like a reader, like an examiner. I should like the way you have started your story. It's like building up the atmosphere. You have to think about the five senses. You have to include about all the five senses in your creative writing. The tension, the characters, what you create in your creative writing should be tense. Because if you look at the story itself, it looks like a tense story. It giving you tension, it giving you're scared. I'm scared to look at the haunted house. I'm scared to go inside. I'm scared that there might be a ghost inside. So these are all the things which are giving you tension. Another thing is creating tension in the story means that you are creating the character what you have created. That character should show that the character is tense. So how would you describe your tension? How would you describe that? If you want me to give you some examples of that, I can go back to that page, for example, for you. Here you go. This is some examples about the tension would come going to the haunted house. So if you're going inside the haunted house and you see that there are some ghosts there, I know you guys are not scared of ghosts, but imagine if you're scared of the ghost, how would you feel? What would be the tension looking at them? How would you feel? You will be definitely, you'll have sweat. You'll be feeling like you'll be nervous, like in this one. His heart beat quickly. Your heart would be beating quickly, and you just want to just go out, leave this haunted house, and just go back from where you came. He started as if it was a trace. She took a deep breath and walk back towards it. So I'll give you guys a second to have a look. To short sentences give more tension. They have basically given you some fear. These are the things you could use, some fear and something like you are scared. You're like you don't know what's happening next. How would this what why I'm here? Because you go to some place, remember, you go to some place and you feel like why I'm here. I don't need to be here. This is not my place. This is not where I deserve to be at. So here is back to your story now. So you have created tension. Try writing some points now, and I'll be just putting some of your points, and we'll be doing the next one. What the next thing they want you to include in this one? My pulse raced and my heart pounded. I had gasped breathe. So this is the way you're describing how do you felt. Basically, you are describing how would you feel. So let's see what's the next thing. Hugging myself too. This is a nice one. I'll just put your one in just a second before I move in. That's a good one. Well done. Hugging myself to keep it against me. I took a few paces forward. Quick eyes spun around. Surely the trees could not move. They were all looking at me. That's a really good one. I'll just put some of your ideas in so all of you can have a look and see how creative you guys are, how creative your other friend is. And I would say that all of you are really good. There's a tiny boy with hair as dark as. That's good. I'll put another one here. There were blood leaking from under the door of the room next to the creepy cellar. Oh, I think so. Must be pillar. Good. I'll just put Josh one last, then we'll move on to the next point, what they want us to do. I was terrified to seek my nose inside the house. I crammed the door as hard as I can, and a scary short man opened it. He was 29-year-old. That's good. You described the age, Josh. So let's move on to the next one. What they want you guys to do. These are the things you have to use in your creative writing. So these are some of the points when you use metaphors, personifications, and similes. So how have they used? Have a look at them and you can use your own to describe the scene what we were describing. The clock of dust wrapping around them. A cloud, not a clock, sorry, a clock. A cloud of fear hoved over them, and personification is the dust danced in the breeze. If you don't know what a personification is, it's something which is not real. Like I would say that it's raining like cats and dogs. Have you ever seen it's raining like cats and dogs? No, it's not. And the similes could be her face was thin and pointed like a rat. The smell was betrayed as an old bin of rotten eggs. So remember what you guys have used. Do you have to be three paragraphs? I would say that it could be three to. The first one is basically about your how creating atmosphere, the scene. Second is the one, if you want to create a character in it, you can. The third one is the tension, the main one, which gives you all the tension, everything. The fourth one is your happy ending. So these are the some things you could use in your creative writing. So the points what you guys have used, we could write this in the points. The sixth thing what they want you to include in your creative writing is, we use five things. So it's, let's go on the next one. The fifth thing is think, and the sixth is you have to remember using your, you have to use smellies. Oh, looks like my spellings are getting bad day by day. So you have to use smellies and metaphors in your story. So you have to, I'll just put this little here. I'll just move all of it on the other side so all of you can have a look what we are writing. So remember, you are using all these things. It's LES. Walking towards the next room, there was a man playing the old rusty piano with his wrinkly fingers. It sounded like someone. Yeah, that's right. Is that okay? Yeah, that's perfectly fine. So, this is a way how you have described. So, these are the things you all have to use in your creative writing. You cannot just say that I have just, and don't try, because I don't know, you guys don't like, some of you don't like writing a lot, and some of you like writing so much you don't know where to end. So you guys need to be really practical what you writing and what you do. There's a word, there's a mat there which has told you what things have been included in this story. So let's see what the mat is. I'm just looking at the mat. This is something which would help you guys to write about this story, that the characters, I have told you about that. You have to write, just think about the things, have we included this in our story? When you're writing it, have you included characters in that? Just take yourself, have you done the feelings and reaction? How would you feel? How was your reaction? Did you include that in your story? And then building rooms, none of you describe the rooms. Did you describe the rooms? How many rooms were there in that? Atmosphere. Atmosphere is, I think so, you guys did include. These are the things, I don't think so, none of you included the how many stories were there in the house, haunted house. So remember, when you describe that, you have to think about the map. Sorry, this mat tells you about the things what were included there, and I'll tell you about some adjectives all of you can use. I can show you the adjectives you need to use in your story. So when you're writing this and when you're writing this story and you're emailing me, you could think about the things, what, oh, these are the things Ashima told us, have we included all these things? About the atmosphere, you have to describe the atmosphere in a way that, as an examiner, imagine, think about me as examiner. How would I do? There were exactly 100 rooms. Don't go to that extent. Because if you say 100 rooms, you have to describe them. So you have to think about what you're using. I'll show you some of the adjectives you all can use in your story. So these are some of the adjectives you all can use. The adjectives are like gray, black, dark, light, and other adjectives also, and adjectives for sound. So if you're describing the sound in the scene of that haunted house, how was the sound? There was a wind going. There was wind blowing. It was barking. The dogs were barking there. Or you could say about all these things. Another thing, what they want you, adjective of taste. So they remember, as I told you, you have to use your five senses. So this is the way they are using your five senses. I'll give you a minute to have a look that. I'll show you another one. This is about sight, sound. There'll be three more on the other side. So remember that, take that, you have to describe about the rooms and everything what you are writing here. There were 18 rooms in the house. They were all had fished floors which led to the floor underneath. It was time for, yeah, that's right. So this is the adjective for sight, adjective for sound, and here's the one I told you again, taste, smell, touch. So all the five senses could be described in adjectives, and this is the way how you all could use like sweet, adjective of taste, adjective for smell, burning, musty, stale, rotten with sweet, adjective for touch, and the movement. You could also describe the movement. When you're moving there, how would you feel? So there's something which is moving. What's moving now? The creeping, snatching, growing. So this is the moment. You could describe the moment. How would you feel the moment is? Did you feel happy going there? Obviously, you none of you would feel happy going in a ghost house. So you can see the three witches sitting there. They look like they're eating something. So you could describe the way they're eating, the way they are, and how would they eat. And always remember to have a happy ending. If you're going to the ghost house, you could say that that could be your dream or something, or you came out, you ran from there to save yourself. I ran as fast as a cheetah to save myself from the ghost in the house, haunted house. So this is another way I have used what they have mentioned here. So what you could include there? These are some of your characters you could include there. Let me go back to your page here. What do you guys want me to add here more? I want you to add your five senses. Five senses we have written tension, and I'll write happy ending here because this is something all of you forget when you're writing about the creative writing. So you could write here number seven is movement. You have to describe your movements. This was not written here. Another thing, what I told you guys in the end is happy ending. Is anything else you want to include in this? You could use that, yeah. Or you would, happy ending means that also another way of ending a stories like this. you could write is just thinking, because I saw really a good creative writing one of you had written last year, and your happy ending, your ending was like never ending, to be continued, like some of you do it. The story to be continued. You could not know the way to go out of this. Yeah, characters. I didn't write characters. You have to create characters also. So you could write in the end is happy ending or never ending. The story never ended. It's still to be continued. Can I watch this if I'm not in this tuition? Yes, you can. It'll be still there in Facebook or on YouTube, anywhere else. Yes, Josh, I will write about the characters. Where you want me to include the characters in this? Can you tell me? Let me see how active you guys are. Do you want me to create characters, build up the atmosphere? When you're saying about the five senses, where should I use the characters? Where can you guys include the characters? Do you want to include the characters in the first or the second one? I think so. You can create the characters when you have the tension, before the tension, when you're describing before two. Yes, you're right. Good, Josh. So here I would say that starting up story, and next here I'll write, you could create your characters and use adjectives to describe them. Create your characters and use adjectives to describe them. Anything else you guys want to include here and you think it's not included on this? What are the characters? What are characters? You mean characters? What are the characters? You can create any characters. What characters can you guys create? Because Josh created, he wrote about his dad or someone. So the characters, create characters doesn't mean that you're creating someone. Create characters is you're including some characters, like you're including yourself. So you could describe how you are, or you could describe, I'll show you what they have used characters like. It'll give you some example, it'll give you guys some idea. Look at these are some of the characters they have used. So you can have an idea about Vampire, Mr. Hawkins, yeah. So these are some of the characters they have used. So you could also use the same characters what they have used, or you could think, you can include, you could describe the three, which is what I showed you in the end. You could include them. So these are some of the characters I have used. You guys also could use some of them. Another one character they have used. And look at this one here. This looks so tricky. This one looks so scary, the character they have used here. So you're going inside and you're looking at a ghost or something like that. So these are some of the characters they have used. You could also use your own characters. You can try making your own characters and see how can you include them in your creative writing. So I'll go back to that page and see if you guys want me to add something else. So these are all the things I have included here. Remember using all these things in your creative writing, and that's it. And don't forget to email me if you guys don't know the email address where you guys have to email these things. You know where to email this creative writing now. So you have to describe the scene, and then 11 plus alt at the rate. That's the email address you guys have to email your creative writing after writing it. Keep your ideas with you now and don't forget to write your ideas and email me on this email address, and I'll be giving the prizes for the one who win. The one who win can win something really interesting. You know what it is. You might win a free online test for English. So if you guys want to win, you have to include all the things what we have said, and the last date for submitting your creative writing is on the 30th of May. So try be as creative as possible, be as descriptive as possible, and try using all the points what I have used in this creative writing for you guys. Don't forget not to include any of these. And then, and also, if you have joined recently, don't forget to like this video, because if you like this video, it gives us opportunities that you guys like our lessons, and we can make more new lessons for you guys. I think so. We are done for now. Should I stop saying sharing the screen now with you guys? And I will be posting this picture. I'll put the description of this picture in 11 plus ALT group, or I'll try putting this picture in the description here also for you guys. If you want to have a look at this picture and then try making your creative writing, and keep all your ideas with yourself and just write it down, because you could be one of the winners now. Let me stop sharing the screen. Yes, it's been stopped sharing. And if you missed this video, you can still watch this live session on YouTube or on Facebook anytime. And remember to tell me what you want for next week. What topics you guys want me to cover next week. I will do that for you guys. I hope all of you like this lesson, and this lesson was really helpful for you guys. It can give you some idea what, as examiner, they expect you to do in your creative writing. There's any other questions you guys want me to ask about this creative writing? Is there any other question? Just let me know. And I'll try putting this PowerPoint for you guys so you can have a look and see what we did today. And what were we doing next week? Josh, just give me any ideas. Just when you give me a creative writing, you all can write your ideas what you want me to do next week on a Friday. And I'll do that for you guys. I'll see you guys back next week now. And thanks for coming. And bye for now. And don't forget to like and subscribe to this video. If your friends have not done it, just tell them to do it. Bye.